New results from the All-America Economic Survey on tariffs, just in time, I'd say, because just sports is quiet. We're in between a lot of things. I mean, it's the NBA playoffs, but
after the Masters, what is left?
After the good golf tournament yesterday, Harbor.
What's the next one I should watch?
PGA.
When is that?
Quail Hollow, a couple weeks
Thanks.
in June. But we're going to do a little. Let's find out.
Right.
Find out what the athletes think about
this,
tariffs.
right? And
do they know what tariffs are?
Just so people understand the 20-year, 22-year running joke.
That long.
Well, we've been doing the survey for 17 years, but
These are not all Americans.
these are all Americans. This is
economists.
No, 1,000
everybody
people.
in America.
Okay, so it's all America.
It's all. Can you get a picture of Joe understanding the revelation,
No,
please?
it's all
Look
okay.
at that. It's all Americans. A plurality of Americans think across-the-board tariffs are a bad idea, with most believing they will hurt jobs and be worse for inflation. And the public's having a hard time believing there's payoff at the end of the process. 49% of respondents to the CNBC All-America Economic Survey say across-the-board tariffs are a bad idea. You can see that with 45% feeling pretty strongly about it, 35% support them, 15% undecided. So there is some opening for the president to convince Americans. The most negative on tariffs were Democrats, Black Americans, young people 18 to 34, and urban dwellers. Most positive, the GOP, rural Americans, income greater than $100,000, and men 50 plus. Majorities think tariffs hurt importers, the cost of everyday goods, the overall economy, and workers. But by 51 to 37, Americans think they help companies producing in the U.S. The public also has not embraced the president's concern about our allies representing an economic threat to the country. Mexico, Japan, Canada, the EU, and the UK, all overwhelmingly seen by the public as more of an economic opportunity than an economic threat. Only China seen by more Americans as a threat, but by a modest 44 to 35% margin. Remains to be seen whether it matters if the president is out of step with the broad public on tariffs and trade. The president's base backs him on tariffs by about 20 points less than otherwise. Their support is, as you said, 20 points below his overall support. Democrats overwhelmingly disapprove, guys, and independents don't like tariffs by a 2-to-1 margin.
Does it surprise you? Some of this is surprising.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think sort of tariffs are a bad idea, so it wasn't weird for me to see that. It was interesting to see. Look, his base is not abandoning him on the tariff issue. When we ask, do you think his policies will have an effect over time, Republicans are likely to say yes. It'll take a year or longer. So Republicans are giving him time. Democrats and independents not. What surprised me about the poll overall was that Democrats and independents looked like they were willing to give the president a shot in December the way Americans always do. They always do a little bit of rallying behind. But the numbers, and it was our Republican pollster who was like, I didn't think the Democratic numbers could get any worse. They're like 90% against, and they brought a lot of independents with them.
Is it 100 days today? I mean,
is today 100 days?
I don't know.
I think it's in a week.
Not yet.
It's in a week from now.
I think there are things the president is doing that can be done in a way that has broader public support.
So did you see this?
Is that
Yeah.
Is that a crazy idea?
No.
Did you see this?
No, what is that?
Cover of New York Magazine.
What does it say?
And it says it's a picture of all these guys on Wall Street with MAGA hats on the floor, with their hair on fire, basically everybody's hair on fire. And it says, I did not think for 1 second he was going to go this crazy. Meaning all of the Wall Street guys on the tariff issue. That's basically what the article is. It's fascinating.
Well, I think it's kind of almost pedestrian. Yeah. Duh.
At this point, I mean, and now I don't know what to think about this Fed thing, which
Nightmare on Wall Street. That's the That's the story.
Remember the bidding on the Fed thing. The president said, "I can't wait till he's terminated." We talked about that Thursday. And then Megan Casella reported she was told by a White House official that they weren't considering removing him. And then Hassett, over the weekend, you guys saw that, right?
Term ended?
Huh?
Did he say terminated or term ended?
No, he said terminated. The president said terminated.
Right.
And then Hassett, who is a guy you got to take seriously, right?
Yeah.
Says, we're thinking about this.
Oh.
Now, I was able to confirm over the weekend that, among others, Kevin Warsh was trying to dissuade the president from this. I thought that was reasonably good news, and I think...
I think that he can now say, I warned him. that he should have cut rates in case things do slow
You think
down.
it's just
he leaves him in. He made his bed. I tried. Jay Powell. I can't imagine that they're really.
I don't think the Fed is beyond persuasion.
Right.
I think if you know,
might
Powell might
eventually
say,
happen.
Powell might say, okay, Mr. President, show me your numbers.
Right.
What do you got? How do you make a call here that I don't have to worry about inflation, that I should just address the other side?
It's hard to look forward instead of backward. That's the Fed's problem.
Well, is it really its problem?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it was back when it didn't think inflation.
When are you talking about?
When we were transitory, and it wasn't transitory.
Which was the middle of a pandemic.
I know.
Right?
I know, but have you ever seen a perfect? It just seems like a lot of
They
times.
were about to stick a landing.
But I know, but
they were about to stick a soft landing.
By definition, it's hard for the Fed to react to anything other than backward-looking data.
An independent Fed is a big difference. If you look at countries that have them, countries that don't.
I'm just saying that it's hard. I'm not saying anything about independent. I'm just saying it's hard to
they're not perfect.
To look forward versus looking backward.
I don't want to create more worry than it's worth.
Predicting the future is
we are
hard.
weaker this morning.
Predictions are hard, especially about the future.
We're weaker this morning on the dollar against the euro, against the yen.
And the dollar's been down 4 weeks in a
I-
row. It's for the year. I think it's
You said 7.5% earlier.
7.5%, right?
And as you said, it starts to add up
for the 1 year.
And by the way, it's going the opposite way of what the theory would tell us would happen when you put tariffs on. So it adds to and exacerbates the inflationary impulse from the tariffs. Right. It was the idea. I had done a story a couple months ago. Oh, the tariffs, we have the dollar strengthening, so maybe it won't be so bad.
Yeah, a weaker dollar exasperates the pain that Americans feel when they're trying to buy goods. Exacerbates. Yeah.